Siena is, I have taught in Siena 5 times. Although my background is in criminal law, and that program is devoted to cultural property, the intersection of those two fields happens to be trafficking in stolen and looted art, which is a multi-million dollar business. It's one of those things that people don't talk about, but the looting of cultural property is a very, very real problem in the world today, and it is something that always accompanies wars, conflicts, civil insurrection, and things of that nature. And it also occurs in countries that are at peace, because you cannot simply protect all of your cultural patrimony. It's been estimated that Italy alone loses about 60,000 objects a year of its cultural patrimony. And this course is devoted to defining the problem and looking for a solution to the problem. It is very, very intensely focused on cultural property, but it deals with it from multiple perspectives. It deals with it from the purely legal perspective in a course that is taught by Glenn Lunny and Professor Francione. It deals with it in terms of the international legal perspective and the domestic legal perspective. One of the professors is Patty Gerstenblith, who was President Obama's appointee to be the director of the Cultural Property Commission. It also deals with stolen and looted property during times of crisis and during times of war. For that, we have Professor Francione and Professor Pavoni, who are also from the University of Siena. And we don't have to go very far back in our own experience here in New Orleans to discover the issues that you have during times of crisis. In this particular instance, it would be Hurricane Katrina. How do you preserve your cultural patrimony, which includes things like the architectural heritage of a city? How do you keep that from being destroyed? Our cemeteries here in New Orleans, how do you keep those from being looted? This course is very much about searching for answers, and it also explores the tension that currently exists between museums. If you've been following the news lately, the particular controversy about Sotheby's and its attempt to auction off a statue that was plainly looted from the Ko-Ker site in Cambodia. The tension between museums, collectors, and the law, and how that has become an area of the law that is very much in an evolutionary stage. The program runs for 3 weeks. I can't say enough about Siena, enough good things. Hannah can say even more. She knows every gelato stand in the city of Siena. Siena is a jewel. When you get to Tuscany, you find it hard to believe that any place could be so beautiful. And then you get to Siena, and you find it hard to believe that something could have been preserved as long as it has been. It's because of the way the city is constructed, and it's a walled city, those large, really obnoxious buses filled with tourists can't get into the city. They're too large to fit through the gates of the city on the southern side. And so at, at night, Siena, allergies, returns to sort of what it really is, which is a wonderful Italian city in the middle of the Tuscan countryside. The program takes place in the run-up to the Palio, which is a combination horse race, religious festival, Mardi Gras, the city is divided into districts called contradas, and each contrada has a horse that they put into the race, and all that matters is that the horse finish. The rider doesn't still have to be attached to the horse. They run it in the Campo, which is just this amazing open space in the middle of the city that dates back 600 years.
Anne Lewis is here to talk.
Okay, and I'll turn it over to her. The other thing I will tell you about Siena is because of the type of training that you get in the program in terms of a very unique exposure to the law of cultural property and dealing with it, internships have become an integral part of the program. Any number of the graduates of the Siena program go on to Cambodia to actually assist the Cambodian government in trying to preserve its own cultural patrimony and recover the laws that were lost under the Pol Pot regime, and help with the categorization of laws, and also with just determining what they do have there in Cambodia by way of cultural patrimony. We also send people to the National Holocaust Museum, and we also have people who go to New York to work with firms in New York who are actively engaged in attempting to recover things that were looted during World War II. Those of you who have been to the movies recently will have seen a trailer for The Monuments Men, a movie that's about to come out with George Clooney and I guess a couple of other people. Based on historical fact, there was a group of American soldiers who were responsible for cataloging and attempting to recover cultural artifacts that were looted during World War II. It's estimated that there are still over 200,000 specific items of cultural patrimony that have yet to surface that were looted during World War II. So this is a vibrant area. It's an intriguing area. It's a narrow area, and so I would urge you, take a look at the program if this is what interests you. The program is open to people other than law students. We draw archaeology graduate students, we draw anthropology graduate students, we even draw art history graduate students because of the breadth of the exposure to this area. And I'll let one of the former students talk about the program.
I went to law school interested in this area of law, so it was right up my alley, and I really enjoyed it. I thought the professors were fantastic. Professors Francioni and Pavoni both worked on drafting the conventions that we studied in class, so it was really interesting to get their perspectives. And Siena is also a really great place to spend 3 weeks. We stayed in a dorm, and we met other grad students from around the world there who were doing summer programs as well. And we had a couple field trips on the weekends where we met the Italian art crime members from the Italian art crime team, which was really cool to hear what they had to say about theft in Italy and international law. And we went to a winery, for example. It's part of the cultural heritage of Italy, and learned a lot about Italian culture as well as the law. It is a lot of reading, and there are finals for every class, but it was a really fun way to start the summer, I think. And then if you're interested in going on to the Cambodian internship, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you.
And Alex just walked in.
Oh, yeah. And,
Hey.
well, I don't know what she said. I don't want to, just say the same thing. But, yeah, I went to Siena also. It's an extraordinarily beautiful place. Food's amazing. I was in Italy a couple times before. And I love Italian history and culture. And the classes were really intimate. Professors were great. We took field trips to the art museums, to the historic locations, to the catacombs, the Etruscan catacombs and everything. Or really tombs, they weren't catacombs. and Siena's a small town. I don't know what you said, Anne, but it's a small city. The whole experience is very intimate. You're located within the community. The Contradas have their practices right outside where we lived. It's just extraordinary. It's everything you'd want in 3 weeks, as much as you can get in 3 weeks in Italy. And there's these breathtaking moments, a lot of knowledge both historically, and the law professors were great too. And then, I also went to Cambodia. You have to do the Siena thing to go to Cambodia. And that was a very unique experience. I mean, there's probably no country that has the 20th century history that Cambodia has. And you can kind of get to see a country reinvent itself after some really terrible events the past generation. And you get to kind of participate in that. I mean, we helped. They really wanted us to write their laws for them.
Yeah.
And we had to keep telling them that Tulane wouldn't let us write their laws because we weren't really lawyers or anything. So you get this super hands-on, almost too much of a hands-on experience there. And you get to learn about that culture as well. That was really intensive. So, my name is Alex Sweden, and I was also in Italy and Cambodia, so you can also ask me questions.